Before we get into trivia, it's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150. We got 6 more games to go before the All-Star break, and knock on wood, but all the teams finally seem to be exactly where we thought they'd be by this point. Out west in the Pacific Division, no change in the standings since last week, with Vancouver holding on to that number 1 spot, followed by Vegas, Edmonton, and LA. Edmonton is currently riding a 16-game win streak, but keep in mind that all but 4 of those games were against some of the worst teams in the league, so take this win streak with a grain of salt. LA, on the other hand, is 2-14 through their last 16, with a whole bunch of losses to some of the league's best teams. Further east in the Central Division, Winnipeg has dropped down to 3rd place, with Mark Scheifele missing the last 6 with a lower body injury, and Colorado and Dallas have finally regained the 1 and 2 spots, respectively. St. Louis has put together a solid run of play through their last 10, putting up a 6-3-1 record and pushing Nashville out of that number 4 spot in the division, while the rest continue to wallow at the bottom of the standings. Officially back east in the Atlantic Division, the Bruins, Panthers, Lightning, and Leafs occupy the 1 through 4 spots, followed by Detroit and Buffalo. The Lightning, Bruins, and Panthers have all been playing lights-out hockey through the last couple weeks, and it's very clear why these teams have dominated this division over the last few years. The Lightning have also taken over the title for the most prolific offense in the Atlantic Division from the Wings, having scored 1 more goal than Detroit through 50 games. Finally, in the Metro Division, the Rangers are still clinging on to that number 1 spot, but they have been a model of inconsistency of late, posting a 4-5-1 record through their last 10. On the other side of the coin, the Hurricanes have finally found their stride. They're riding a 3-game win streak with a 7-3-1 record through their last 10. Keep in mind, the Canes have made it this far without a true number 1 goaltender. So with Anderson skating once again, they're only going to get better with him back between the pipes. Also worth noting here, the Pittsburgh Penguins have finally clawed their way up into 5th place after sitting in 7th for the vast majority of this season. We got no games for the Rangers this week, with that 7-2 win over the Senators, leaving them on a nice high note before the All-Star break. Be sure to tune into the All-Star game this coming weekend in Toronto for the skills competition and the All-Star game, and let the boys know just how much we all love the All-Star game. Until next week, this has been your 150.